Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. Talk to me a little bit about Propel Day and all that you bring to the table with your product and the Confident Consultant, which was a fascinating read. So give me some detail on that.
Well, thanks for the tee up there. You're right, because of all of this context that we just laid out, right? It's a difficult and complex worker environment right now, both for leaders, but also for managers and employees that you've succinctly laid out. And so we've created Propel Day. Our mission is to help business leaders, entrepreneurial consultants, and fractional executives to do their best work and live their best life, right? So it's not one or the other, it's both and. Do their best work and live their best life. How do we do that? We do that through three things. Number one, education. Number two is community. And number three is executive coaching. And so I've talked a little bit about executive coaching. It's a pretty traditional model, kind of a one-to-one executive coaching experience. This notion of being a Gallup Certified Strengths Coach and leveraging the Gallup organization's Clifton Strengths 34 assessment and a lot of that activity is what we do there. We do that for carriers. We have some carrier clients currently and other industries as well, other types of mid and large companies typically. On the education side of what we do, we provide and build digital courses or online courses that are accessible and for sale by the public at large to be able to learn various topics. You mentioned our Confident Consultant assets that we're putting forward. And so in February, we'll be launching the Confident Consultant digital course. And this will be a 5-module, roughly, digital course to help those who are what we call fractional curious, or they are consultant curious. And maybe they're still working in a corporate environment, but they distrust their employer. They think there's a better path. They'd rather work on their own objectives rather than someone else's objectives. And they're thinking about taking that break-free leap, that leap into the entrepreneurial consultant or fractional executive realm. And this course is designed for both folks like that, plus folks who have recently become an entrepreneurial consultant or independent consultant or a fractional executive on their own. And so there's kind of that early stage of being on their own type of course here. So we're excited about that. We've recently put out a free new resource. It's a PDF download that people can grab as well. I'll tee that up at the end, but it is called the Confident Consultant Checklist. And it is a thorough, several 5-page long document that kind of walks you from A to Z through the different steps or the checklist needed to consider thinking about making that ultimate decision to leave the life of corporate and go the life of a business owner, of an entrepreneur as a consultant or a fractional exec. So we're excited about all of that. The community aspect is coming soon. It'll come out this spring. We'll launch that aspect this spring, but excited about all of those assets and all that value and help that we can provide in support for this new worker realm, right? This new worker reality that, hey, not every worker is going to be in a corporate setting for their entire career.
Right.
In fact, you'll hear me, rather than hear me call it a career, you'll likely start hearing me call this someone's professional journey. And my professional journey, your professional journey mimic this, right? We were in a traditional corporate setting for many, many years, got to executive level stature or positions. And ultimately, for whatever reason it was, in my case, it was kind of a blindsided, I got let go, kind of blindsided situation 9 years ago. And here I am. And I've been an entrepreneur ever since. So, and I should point out, I've been in this role of being an entrepreneurial consultant and a fractional executive multiple times now. So it's an exciting world. And we're excited to help a lot of folks with this.
One of the things that you said, which is kind of interesting, is that when you are ready to make the decision to make the leap.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting if you make that decision, but what we're seeing oftentimes is that people are blindsided, as you described. And what ensues oftentimes is a crisis of confidence. And, well, what am I going to do next? And am I qualified to do this or that, the other thing? Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.